UJGamers.com.
You know what? Tank is annoying me. Uh-oh. And 7 brings back your other weapon. Let's take that off the screen.
Don't you have an unlimited amount of ammo?
No, actually. You don't have an unlimited amount of ammo. I ran out before.
Oh, well, good to know. That might be the facility there, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes you get stuck on stuff. Yeah. I think I'm stuck on the building. Nope, I'm stuck on the tanks. Oh, what the hell? Looks like I'm gonna have to dragon punch him. Yeah. Did you see what I mentioned about running out of ammo?
You've run out of ammo?
Yes.
You tried. That's all we can ask.
So we're gonna try and run away here now.
But no, the Jaguar did come out with its own CD add-on,
Oh yes, yes it did.
which kind of made it look like, you know, one of the poopers that you'd find in your house.
Oh yeah. It did. It did kind of have that toilet design when the game was in there. It kind of humorous actually. And unfortunately, the Jaguar CD add-on didn't really have a lot of games. I believe it only had 13 total. Which, if you're trying to sell a console, doesn't really bode well for you.
No.
Well, the Jaguar itself only had like 67.
So
So kind of a limited library.
that puts you at like, what,
80
80-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great.
No, it's kind of a small selection. I mean, it wasn't as
And
as
whereas
small as the 32X's library, but the 32X only had like a 6-month lifespan.
the Jaguar had, you know, games that were better than, say, this or Cybermorph, graphically speaking, on probably control-wise, too, this is about where the stock sat,
Yeah.
which isn't necessarily bad,
Right.
but it could be better.
Right. I mean, it wasn't.
Which is probably...
It's almost not fair to compare this system to its competitors.
Oh, it's really not, because this system's kind of sad. It kind of shot itself in the foot by comparison to the other competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was built to be more powerful than the Genesis and the SNES, which it was.
According to the stats, it was, but if you look at what we're looking at currently, you're kind of like, well, it's 3D, but
Is it better?
yeah, because whereas
Whereas this, you get a lot of plain textures.
we like our 3D as much as the next person. It's all about the gameplay, and if the 3D is going to hinder the gameplay, well then maybe we're not ready to go there yet. Maybe we should just keep the 3D in the shadows.
Yeah. I would agree with that, yes.
It's kind of like the whole Castlevania thing. Whenever they took it to a new console and they decided to make it 3D instead of 2D, it kind of crapped its pants.
Oh, you mean Castlevania 64.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I remember that one. Alright. Well, I think we've taken a good look at Iron Soldier here. I don't think we're going to make it to our base that we were hoping to.
It happens to the best of us. Time to move on.
Oh, I want to crush a house.
Okay. Show us. No.
I think he's actually just crushing the houses.
Can you turn around and look at him? You know, for the audience's sake.
I'm trying. Hold on, I have to actually stop him. Then make him turn.
Alright.
And make him turn the other way.
Yeah, you weren't kidding about that tank action there, were you?
No. Yeah, there's my path.
Oh yeah, we can definitely see your path. Alright, onward and upward.
Alright. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're taking a look at Checkered Flag for the Atari Jaguar.
Yes, indeedy we are. Racing
Developed by
action.
Rebellion?
Yes. Rebellion. They have some of the strangest names for some of their developers on here.
No, that developer sounds familiar.
Well, the reason why I say they have some of the strangest names for some of the developers is because one of the other was called
Oh, they still make games.
one of the other ones was called Llama Soft.
Llama Soft, yeah.
And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at Rebellion Software here. They're a British company. They made the Alien vs. Predator computer games. And Alien vs. Predator for the Jaguar. They're still currently making games in the game business. Their recent ones were Alien vs. Predator Requiem, the Call of Duty port for PS2. Oh god, Rogue Warrior. So they're kind of back and forth here. They've made some good stuff and some awful stuff. So yeah, they made Miami Vice for PSP. Yeah, all over the place Rebellion is. So
Well, maybe they're big enough, whereas they've got that one guy that tends to go in and throw a monkey wrench into everything because, well, it only takes one bad apple to ruin the whole bunch, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Let's take a quick moment here while we're playing an early title and talk about the launch of the Atari Jaguar. It was released in November of '93, as we had said before, and it was initially only sold in New York and San Francisco. That was the test market. Unfortunately, it had a whole bunch of problems, even building an installed base there.
Yeah.
After about a year, they had only sold 100,000 units. That's after the nationwide release.
I kind of think the Atari Jaguar in general is just an epic fail. I mean,
they tried. They tried hard. Especially, the head of Atari at that time, the son of, the guy that bought it. Trammell. Sam Trammell.
Shall I go again?
Sam Trammell was... Yeah, keep playing it.
Uh,
I mean, this is the Gran Turismo of its time, right?
No, I'm very sure that Gran Turismo is the Gran Turismo of its time.
Sorry, that's a little in-joke between me and Luke, because we were playing this one night, preparing for this video, and he called it the Gran Turismo of its time, and then I pointed out to him that the Gran Turismo was actually the Gran Turismo of its time.
Which kind of disappointed me, because I was like, wow, this feels like it should be so much earlier. But the fact that it's supposed to be directly competing with the Super Nintendo and Genesis actually
would make it the Gran Turismo of its time.
Yeah, because it does give you some options to pick and choose some things that you don't normally see in like Genesis and Super Nintendo racing games.
Well, I think the problem it ran into was that it was trying to compete with the previous generation.
Yeah.
And the next generation was already around the corner. I mean, granted, it was a powerful system compared to the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, but...
Well, it's a powerful system compared to the Sony console, for that matter. The PlayStation. But
really?
they just didn't utilize the power properly.
That's true. Well, it did have a 32-bit CPU and a 30p. Okay. Let's see. The CPU and the GPU were both 32-bit sets, but sent control signals to the 64-bit graphics coprocessors, which in other words, they're graphics accelerators.
So basically what we're
saying... They said that the mere presence of the 64-bit accelerators was sufficient to say that it was a 64-bit console. Actually, it was two 32-bit chips put in together.
So, in other words...
It's a 32-bit console.
Yeah. So it's the same as the Sony PlayStation. That's ridiculous. Why would it say that it's a 64-bit system then? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Because Atari was doing the math, which just happened to be their advertising slogan at the time.
Doing the math? Oh, right.
Do the math.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you consider that this is as powerful as the PlayStation, and you consider that Gran Turismo is on the PlayStation, this kind of puts in perspective just how awesome this game is. Yes. And whereas there were some fantastic games on this console, I don't know that this is one of them.
Well, I'll give you a little quote here. In July 95, an interview with Sam Tramiel, son of Jack Tramiel, by the way, declared that the Jaguar was as powerful, if not more powerful, than the Sega Saturn, and slightly weaker than the Sony PlayStation. Does this look slightly weaker to the PlayStation?
This looks dead by comparison to the PlayStation.
I'm pretty sure that's what everybody else thought too.
This part of the brain controls the subject's emotions.
Hey, get off my lawn!
This part controls hunger.
Hey, you gonna eat that?
This controls sexual impulses. This controls rational thought.
Why would I buy a 32-bit system for $300 when I can get a 64-bit Jaguar system for $149?
Atari Jaguar 64-bit, $149.
Knock it off!
New Gen Gamers.com